Hello, good evening. You're very welcome to this evening's interaction and presentation. This evening, we're going to be talking about values. Values as it comes face to face with competence and expectations in the society. Now, the reference to Joseph's story reveals that he wasn't called upon based on religious feeling or his ethnic affiliation, but largely his text, his competence, his values was what created a space for him in the king's palace. Face of competence, every other thing submits at the presence of values and competence. So what basically it means is that when we have a focus on competence and values, it takes away every other thing or it erodes every other factor. So nothing stops a man like lack of values and competence. So it is often advised that we are to work hard majorly on our skills development, on our values, on areas of competence. So strengthen your competence, strengthen your values, then you become a unique personality in your workplace, in your school, in business, in your little group, society, in whatever you do. The emphasis is not really for you to dwell in a religious affiliation, ethnic background, but your emphasis should be premised on values, on competence. So the question before you today is, are you valuable enough to be marketable? Are you valuable enough to cause the required shift in or to bring the required shift that your destiny requires, demands? Are you valuable enough? Are you competent enough to make that leap upward that your destiny also requires? So for every one of us who must desire to be valued within values and not religious affiliation and not ethnic affiliations and not any other thing. Focus your energy on developing competence in your area of grace and giftings, and you see yourself becoming what God expects you to be. Thank you. We see you in our next episode, and God bless you. Thank you. All right, now I start.
Values and competence. And that is the bedrock of many people in today's society. A lot of people who have values, because the society does not really support people who have values. And competence is not something that are paid strengthen out there, because a lot of people are looking for shortcuts to get things done. And when you're involved in shortcuts, you don't get value, number one. When you're involved in shortcuts, competence cannot be achieved, because competence is a result of hard work. Competence is a result of discipline. Competence is a result of growth. So if there are no values, competence cannot be involved. So now, question is this: how can this generation coming up, or the one that are here right now, be able to harness these two together? Because if care is not taken, we'll begin to celebrate more of mediocrity, which is happening right now.
Yes.
More of mediocrity and less of values. But the end result is that there will be economic shackle. There will be what we call, there will be high level of mediocrity, which will result into lives being terminated unexpectedly. Because let's say, for example, medical terms, if doctors are not competent, there'll be high rates of death.
Yes, death rate.
The death will be very increased. Death rates, high rate of there's the name I usually call the doctor, call them Google doctors. Any little thing, they type on Google, Whatever people tell them is what they're going to prescribe. Such kind of people are really not competent. The growth will have gone through the discipline, will have gone through the knowledge, and he will be able to know what to do that time. That does not strike out making research. That does not strike out asking questions here and there. But that one will not be a focus of how to give what to values. Yeah. So, what is your own take on that?
Okay, thank you very much. See, the emphasis again remains that as individuals, as young men and women in the society, they must, in our institutions, academic institutions, in our families, we must intentionally enshrine, promote some values. And these are not just abstract terms, they must be defined. Okay. And these values must be defined and spelled out. So on it are the basis and the foundation for growth and then competence, and then we see the resultant effect in our society. So, but if we don't go with an intentional act of establishing these values, there will be vices and these values here and there. Now, today in the society, a lot of people blame young people for what they do. Sometimes if you track back to the family, you find that in the homes or in their various homes, these young ones do not necessarily have what they look up to.
Yeah, sure.
There is no framework of progression at all. You see, the basis is just, get dressed, go to school, eat, come back, rest, eat your food, get dressed again. It's like a routine. These are not ways of enshrining or enshrining and promoting values. But the values must be promoted. It starts with the family. It starts with individuals in the home. Be intentional. Then this will now be taken to the institution. The institutions are mainly to build on what the homes have started.
Yes.
Meeting and establishing some facts that okay, these are what we stand for. It's just like a decision without vision, and vision is definitely going to fall.
Sure.
You know, the good book to say, see it, he said, remind me now, is it about 2:2? He said, write the vision, make it plain, that he that readeth will run with it. For the vision is here for an appointed time. So the value might not produce the result now, the desired result right now, but the rest assured that it will definitely produce result.
Sure.
So what is expected of us in order to attain that height of competence and the height of societal change and development is to come back to the basis, and not coming back in words, but in real establishment of those facts.
Yes.
You know, today you agree with me that the world does not reward what is it called now? The world does not reward religious belief per se. The world does not reward the fact that you are maybe having a stature or something, but the world reward values and competence.
Yeah, sure.
So if you have values, you are marketable, like we said in the previous video. If you have value, you are tradable. You become a commodity.
Sure.
So values, true values make an individual to be marketable and tradable.
Yes.
Because the world is a place of is a marketplace.
Yeah,
so
sure.
it is what I have that I'll bring to the table, and then I will exchange it for whatever that I need. So if I must continue to be relevant and continue to be relevant for life, I must continue to promote those values that will lead to competence, that on the long run, we'll start seeing a society that is different. So the change you and I desire in society will not come upon us like
the change has to start from the inside.
It has to start from the inside.
It's from the inside that you produce. Yes.
So but when you come back, you see, like let's even come down and mention some of these values. Let's say, for example, the value of let's say discipline. For example, discipline is one value that cuts across every other thing that a man does. I can take the value of discipline in reading because I have been taught how to be disciplined in what I do in my home. What do I do? If I bring it back home, I'll take it out further, and I'm faced with an academic work in school, for example, because I've been disciplined at home, and there's a discipline culture from the house that I maintain a routine. of discipline. I will adopt the same pattern in that aspect. So it becomes the foundation to which everything succeeds. Sure. So without it, trust me, we'll just go round and round and resolve and come back without results. So for us to get there, we must define it. Look at a man, but good book said, see the man diligent in his work. He shall sit before kings and not before men. You must strive to be what? To have value. And if the body consistently applying that value and intentional about it will create the atmosphere and the space for you. Truly say, there is always a space for a valuable man. Sure. In the society, there is a space for a valuable man. When we say there is no job anywhere, truly, true to it, there are jobs for those who are valuable. So if you want to have a space, if you want to occupy the space, put value into yourself. You become marketable, you become tradable, you become accessible. In fact, you become a commodity that is desired by everyone. Sure. I think that's my
That's Alif. With this few explanation, the exposition, I think I've been able to lay a foundation, a foundation to build upon. That remember this, that without value, you can be competent. And when you're not competent, it cannot be marketable. And you're not marketable, you cannot be tradable. So if you don't have any of these, remember, mediocrity can only take you a little. Yeah. But know this, competent will take you far. So if you are celebrating mediocrity, know that the end result is failure. Yeah. So prepare to become valuable and competent. Thank you.
Thank you very much.